Hey everyone, happy week one in our class. So in my last video, I talked through a lot of the student resources in Module 0, which is our orientation module. I want to remind you about this candy corn guess, where I dressed up for that video. So moving on to Module 1, I sent out an email on Monday that I had a weird technical glitch happened that morning, so this module wasn't published as early as I wanted it to be, but it was up pretty quickly after that. So I wanted to record this video now to talk through what this module will be doing and how things will kind of progress in this class. So Module 1 is the beginning, kind of covering Chapter 1 in our textbook called Sampling and Data. Every week you will have a weekly wellness assignment. So these weekly wellness assignments, I'll open it in a new tab so I don't have to go back and forth. These are typically to promote like either mental health or to check in on how you're doing or to encourage you to check in on how you're doing. So this week you're going to be writing 3 good things that are happening this week. Maybe they haven't happened yet, so just keep an eye out for them. And these can be super little, they could be super big. Maybe you found a penny on the ground. It's good enough for me. All right, Module 1 overview. So as a reminder, every module you'll have an overview page. It will kind of talk through what you're going to be doing in that module. So for example, here you will have some videos. You will navigate through Canvas pages. You will read through sections of our textbook. And then we have progress checkpoints where you will answer some multiple choice questions to kind of check in on how you're understanding the information from the textbook. And then you will work on CYU discussions. So as a reminder, CYU discussions are where you are posting in a discussion, but essentially your attempts at questions. So they don't have to be correct. I will talk through more of this in a moment when I show you that. But your attempts don't have to be correct as long as you're genuinely attempting the problem, writing where you're confused, things like that. These discussion environments are meant to be places where we can make mistakes, where we can learn. These are not meant to be situations where you are submitting work that is entirely correct because we are still learning. It's part of the learning process. And then at the end of the module, there will be some open-ended questions here. So some of these things may shift or change, or new types of assignments will come in, for example, next module. But at least for this week, I wanted to give you an overview of what you will be doing in this module. Okay, I'm going to go back to the general modules and come down back to module 1. So the reading summary page I will include in every module as well. You don't really have to do much on this page. It's mainly to compile all of the sections of the textbook. So even if you click on one of these, it will take you to the textbook and then you can click through the sections. So you don't need to use the reading summary page to actually navigate through the text. But I wanted to include these as separate links in case that is easier for you. So notice when I clicked on 1.1, it took me to section 1.1. But if I come back here and click on 1.3, it'll take me to 1.3. So just for convenience was the main idea there. Here I want to point out there's a list of key terms. So this is really helpful. These are definitions of a bunch of things. So as you're taking progress checkpoints, as you're doing wrap-up assignments, as you're working on challenges, feel free to use this as a resource. This has a bunch of definitions that would be beneficial that we've learned in Chapter 1. Okay, coming back here, the links here will again be to the textbook. This isn't, and in fact, if I find out from y'all that this is inconvenient to have this here, then I won't include it. I also will show you that if you continue to scroll down, all of the textbook links will slowly appear here as we continue on in the semester. So really just trying to make it convenient for you to access the textbook when you need to. I mentioned this in my last video. The textbook company that makes this textbook, OpenStax, also creates a PowerPoint that can go with the text. I don't typically use that at all because there's not additional information on those. But if you're the type of person that you would like to have the PowerPoint slides where you can maybe read the textbook and add your own notes in the PowerPoint, then I just wanted to make that available to you here. So if you click on that, you can download this to your computer, make notes in it, do whatever you would like to. Okay, starting here is where we start actually on the sections. So I will click on this here and go into our modules as if I was a student taking the class. So here we have a 13-minute video of why we need statistics. This is the first time I've introduced the idea that you can change the playback speed, which you can do. So on videos, down here, there's this little icon. It looks like a gear. If you click on it and you go to playback speed, you can change the playback speed to whatever you would like. I guess up to ×2. I typically will watch videos at 1.5. I don't want to speed it up too quickly. But personally, watching at 1 times speed sometimes can take longer than I would like it to. So sometimes I watch it at 1.5. So if you click on that, what happens is now when you hit play, it will play.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Hill, and this is...
Oh, that was loud. Sorry. I don't know if you could hear that, but I certainly did. It'll play it at a slightly faster pace. And again, here's the textbook link. So you're going to watch this video and then read through section 1 of chapter 1. Similarly, in section 1.2 here, and I want to remind you, you can toggle through these. I'm going to move myself. You can toggle through these down at the bottom right. So if you click next, it'll take you to the next section. But I want to also clarify, you can get there from the modules page. So here's a video, and also you're reading section 1.2. And then after that, you're going to have a progress check. So like a checkpoint with the material, and participate in a CYU discussion. So let's go jump over there and see what those are. So progress check. This is essentially a shorter assessment, but I want to point out that you have 3 attempts on them. They're completely untimed and open book. So again, this would be maybe a good time to have open the key terms document. For example, while I'm taking a progress check, I can go back and forth between my key terms and make sure I'm remembering what all the vocabulary is to help me. But you'll hit begin. It will tell you how many attempts you've taken, and then whichever your highest score is on your 3 attempts is what will be recorded in the grade book. Okay, then I want to talk about CYU discussions. And my future videos won't be this long. I'm giving more detail for Module 1 because a lot of these assignments will look very similar throughout the semester. So I just want to give extra, I guess, direction on them. Okay, CYU discussions. These are check your understanding discussions. If you click here, it will take you to the course overview where it talks about CYU discussions. So this first one, the initial post is due tonight, and then your peer replies are due by Sunday. So the goal of this is to literally check your understanding, things along the way. So what I have done is I've assigned 2 problems, number 1 and number 11, from chapter 1 practice. So again, it's linked here. And the idea behind these is that you're going to attempt these with any resources you would like to use. So notice here, you're allowed to use any resources. I want to be very careful. You're allowed to use AI and things like that, but I really want to emphasize that if you're not using AI in a way that would actually help you learn the material, then you're not using it in a way that will help you learn. So please be careful with this. We will have an assignment where we go through an example of how to use AI to help you. So please be on the lookout for that. But I want to go ahead and just mention it. You are allowed to use any resources here to help you on these questions. I will reiterate, this work does not have to be correct. That's why you're allowed to use any resources. I'm not grading for accuracy here. We're looking more for, in fact, I'll talk about the grading in a minute, but we're looking more for a genuine attempt. I want to make sure I'm seeing how your brain thinks. So basically in these posts, I'm looking for, can I see your brain? Or did you just give me an answer? Because that's not what I'm looking for. Answers are great, but how you get the answer is way more important to me. Okay, so you can read through these instructions. You can submit any form that you would like to, as long as we all can see the work that you're submitting. You will submit your attempt, but I want to clarify, you will also submit like explanation. So not just work and an answer. We would like to be able to know how you thought about this. How would you explain this to someone as if you were teaching it to them? So, or if you are confused, where are you confused? Things like this. You can always come to my student hours for help as well on anything. So yeah. Okay, here's some more details about that. I'll let you read through all that, but I just wanted to show you that. And then in any assignment, you can come up and look at your rubric here to show you exactly how you'll be assessed. So if we scroll down, we'll point out your attempt work at number 1, problem number 2. In this case, it's number 1 and number 11, but I won't change that number. And then your peer replies, so 15 points total. And notice 7 people have already posted in here. Yay! I'm making this on Wednesday during my student hours, and I will typically do this anyway, but especially if people don't come to student hours, I'll make a quick video to kind of update you on what's going on. All right. I think that's it for now. Again, I try to keep these under 10 minutes, but if you're speeding up the playback, then it is under 10 minutes. But there's a progress check for section 1.2 and 1.3, and then a CYU discussion for 1.2 and 1.3. There's also a progress check for 1.4. And then there is a synthesizing assignment, is what I'm calling it. These are open-ended questions where you're kind of creating your own situation to match some conditions that we've been learning about. And then the module wrap-up is kind of a summary, a conclusion of everything. All right. Well, good luck this week. Again, we're focusing on module 0 and module 1 currently. Probably tomorrow or the next day, I will I will open module 2, which will start in chapter 2 of the material. So good luck. Please let me know if you have any questions. And again, every week I host student hours from 3 to 4 over Zoom. So in fact, I'll come show you where that link is while I'm filming. Right here, student hour Zoom classroom. I'm online from every Wednesday from 3 to 4. Come visit. All right. Thanks so much, y'all. Good luck this week.